Hi guys, welcome to Classic Rock and Country Music Facts and Trivia. Thank you for stopping by today's video. Cledus Judd. It's kind of country's version of Weird Al Yankovic. He recalls Toby Keith kicking a guy's ass after he insulted them at a Nashville bar. He said it like he was carrying a 12-pack of beer. Toby probably wasn't the guy you want to mess with. Legendary Toby Keith passed away back in February after a 2-year battle with stomach cancer, and since then his friends and colleagues have come forward with some incredible memories and stories of Big Dog Daddy. And it seems like they can all be pretty much summed up in the same way. He was a badass. Of course, one of Toby's hits, As Good As I Once Was all about his ability to hold his own in a bar fight when he needed to, and apparently there was quite a bit of truth to that one. Cledus Judd, the country singer best known for his parody songs like I Love NASCAR and Bake Me a Country Ham, recently joined Tracy Lawrence for an episode of his TL's Roadhouse podcast, where he recalled a night out in Nashville when Toby had to put an ass whooping on somebody who kept bothering them. According to Cledus, it started out where they were at dinner and a guy came up to Toby wanting an autograph. Toby agreed to sign it, but only after they finished eating, which apparently upset the annoying autograph seeker. The group then moved to a different bar, and then the guy shows up and once again approaches them. Here he comes, that guy again. Different bar, different place. Here he comes again. Comes up to Toby and says something really smart, and Toby says, the best thing you can do is probably go enjoy your evening, just like we're going to enjoy ours. Sounds like good advice. And let's be honest, I'm sure Toby meant it as a warning for the guy's own safety, but unfortunately for him, it wasn't a warning that he decided to follow. The group moves on to yet another bar. Cledus says that they were at the bar in Printer's Alley in Nashville where Rascal Flatts got their start, so I assume he's thinking of Fiddle and Steel Guitar Bar, which closed in 2014. The country boy band got their start there and even played one final show at the Fiddle and Steel when the bar closed. Well, of course, the same guy shows up once again at Fiddle and Steel, and Cledus just knew that it wasn't going to end well. I thought, this ain't going to be good here, because we're all hammered, and he's hammered, and Toby's 6'4", this guy's 5 foot nothing, and it's going to be ugly. And the guy decided to make a move that he probably ended up regretting, insulting Toby and Cledus for their frosted tips. I'll never forget it as long as I live. He comes over to our table, and he looked at Toby, and he looked at me, and he said, I just got one quick question before I get out of here. And Toby didn't really acknowledge him, and the guy said, how much y'all spend on bleach to bleach y'all's hair so y'all look like tag team bunch of wrestlers? I'll never forget it, talking about me and Toby. And I thought, well, this is going to be the end of your life right here. Sure enough, Toby didn't take too kindly to the insult, and Cledus said the next thing he knew, Toby had the guy by his belt loops like he was carrying a 12-pack of beer out of a convenience store. This guy was on his hands and knees, kicking like a little puppet, and Toby was just toting him out through there. Cledus said at that point he wanted to show Toby that he had his back, so he decided to get his own licks in on the guy, too. I come up under the guy, and I mean, when I hit, my hand exploded. Blood went everywhere. It made the loudest stomp you ever heard. And Toby got him out, and I said, don't worry about it. I got him, Toby. I got him good for you. He was sitting over there, and I was wrapping my hand up. It was awful. And I said, I just didn't want you to think for 1 minute that I didn't have your back. But there was a part of the story that Cledus never got the chance to admit to Toby. When he went to hit the guy, he actually missed and hurt his hand on the concrete floor instead. Hey, at least he was willing to jump in there, which I'm sure is what Toby appreciated the most. But listening to the story, couldn't help but remember another story about another artist, Toby, throwing a guy out at the same bar. Eric Church recalled the first time he met Toby, which came when he was talking into the Fiddle and Steel, and Toby was dragging a guy out. Toby had taken the guy harassing the patrons and had drug him by his shirt collar all the way down the bar. As I walked in the door, the guy dropped in front of me, and I look up, and there's Toby Keith. And I kind of stuck out my hand and said hi. Toby was always a guy that did things his own way, and I think of that fondly now when I think of him. He got to be friends. We got to be friends later, and I toured with him, but that's how we met. He laid a guy at my feet at the Fiddle and Steel. Now, this obviously begs the question, are you talking about the same night? Cledus telling the same story from the other point of view, or did Toby just serve as the unofficial security for Fiddle and Steel and have a habit of throwing obnoxious dudes out of the bar? which I believe was his gig before he was playing music. I think he second as like a bouncer. And Lord knows he was big enough to do it. And then he don't come across as being, you know, I'm going to kick your ass or whatever. He just seemed like a really nice guy. I mean, but everybody's got their limit to where you mess with them. Remember a story on Andre the Giant? Some guy kept messing with him in a bar. He just got up, walked outside, and flipped the guy's car over on its side. True story. This guy was huge. Anyway, all I got for you guys. Hope I'd throw a wrestling thing in there since they mentioned wrestling. Have a great day, guys. God bless you, and I'm praying for you.